Hey y'all, just wanted to get on here and chat to you for a second about something I just saw because you know me, I'm going to be talking to you from the trenches. And this just reminded me of something that happened in my office the other day as well. So I'm just kind of like, okay, this is a thing. This is actually something that is concerning in our world at the moment that we just need to be aware of. That's all. So I just was in my little local coffee shop and it's Sunday afternoon. It's, look at it, it's sunny outside. And yeah, you would think it would be a lovely, joyful, uplifting, and happy afternoon. But obviously, there are some people who aren't having that day, and that's okay. However, I'm in this shop, and it is full of people. Like, everybody's out getting coffee. And there's a long queue. I'm in the queue. I finally get up. It's my turn. I have the chats with my kids in there. I love them. I'm not a huge fan of coffee. I am a huge fan of going to get the coffee and the act of companionship and camaraderie. And that's why I have it. And I just love these kids. And so I'm there and I make my order and I step back and the kids behind the counter are just like scrambling all around. They're like, boom, 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 boom. Like I couldn't do anything that fast. They're really working hard and the place is just full of people. So this guy gets his coffee and his mate was with him. And obviously his coffee wasn't quite ready yet. And so it took, another 30 seconds. And so, she cheerfully shouts out, Americano, and slides it across. And he reaches over and he grabs his coffee and then he just glares at this girl. Like he makes direct eye contact with her. And like she kind of got a start and I'm standing there looking going, what? And he glares at her because his coffee came out later than his friends. And I'm like, okay. And you're like, okay, what a jerk, whatever. But I think it's something that we should pay attention to right now because this is kind of the world that we're creating for ourselves at the moment, at the momentum and trajectory that we're currently on. So like I was in my office the other day and I'm just super busy right now. I'm run off my feet. It's just the way it is. I would like to tell myself that people are choosing to take better care of themselves. And that's my story and I'm sticking to it. So I'm just uber busy. So I walk out and the waiting room is full of people. And so it's finally this guy's turn and I'm behind because the day had been really weird. The day was really weird. And I mean like every second person, men, women, and children, every second person came in and like broke down. And sometimes I'm the only point of contact that people are having, let's say outside of the home or family or whatever, or work. And they come in and they've just and fall to pieces. And so on this particular day, I don't know, the ethers were in the air, but people were really struggling. And so, I had an elderly gentleman, his little hand was shaking and he was just crying. And, and then I had the woman with her children and she just sat plunked down in the chair and buried her face in her hands and just started to sob. And it was just that kind of day. And people were really having a hard time. In any given day, like for instance, the week before I had somebody come in just to get their adjustment and they walk in and I had just see one, boom, and it was like the pressure releases out of the body and this individual turns around and goes, I was abused by the parish priest, and I was like, okay. And this is what can happen sometimes when the nervous system finally unwinds and it releases and it's ready to expel that trauma. And so these things happen every single day to me. And so I take each individual as they come, and I know I'm very conscious of the fact that there's people out there waiting, but if it was them, and one day it probably will be, I am going to give them the same love, care, and attention because that's what I signed up for. I'm not a conveyor belt. I'm not there just to get people in and out. I'm not there just to take people's money. I am a doctor of chiropractic. I am a metaphysical healer because I love what I do. And so I'm not going to change that because other people are uncomfortable in my environment, period. It's just not happening. So out I go after yet another person has broken down and I've gotten them back into shape where they can go out and face the world again. And this guy glowers at me. And he was like, my appointment was for 12:15. And I'm in my head, here's the conversation. When the hell did people forget that they could have two legs underneath them, get up, walk out the door? You're not happy? You're not comfortable? Get out. Go. But what's happened now is we have developed this sense of entitlement where if something doesn't work out the way we want it to, or to our schedule, or to our liking, or to our vision or view of the world, that we take it upon ourselves then to impose that on other people around us. And I'm looking at this guy going, I am definitely not the doctor for you. Excuse me? Yeah. Look, I'm going to react to people as they come. Some people crawl in that door. Some people come in and are out in 5 minutes. Some people, their entire world is falling apart, and I'm going to show up for every single one of them. Who I'm not going to show up for is the people who don't have the cop on to realize that the world is not at their beck and call, and that when you walk out your front door and you're going to go avail of a public service, you're taking a chance. You're taking a chance that everything isn't going to be exactly the way you want it to be. And you're taking a chance that everyone's not going to say exactly the thing that's going to make you feel comfortable and whole as an individual. Now, should we as people try to be kind and nice? Sure, if that's our path. But guess what? It's not the path of some people. And we keep trying to change the world around us to create an environment that makes us feel most comfortable and supported. Hey, I'm all about supporting. I mean, you guys know me. You see what I do. Like, I write the books for the LGBTQ kids. I'm doing all these podcasts for people. I'm showing up. I'm being there. But I'm also realistic about the fact that you're never going to change everybody, nor should we be able to, because then you're imposing your view of the world and your vision of what's right onto somebody else who might be at a completely different level of learning and growth in their own story. Yeah. You know, I just, when I was shooting my little show the other week, I was talking about in the box and out of the box, and how crazy we are that we've delineated that being like in the box means that like we're so closed and we're unevolved, and those of us who are out of the box, we're so enlightened. And I'm like, that's not what the boxes are for. The boxes, we choose to come to earth for the boxes. We place ourselves in those boxes to learn what's inside that box, to expand and to outgrow what's there and move to a new box so that we can have a better understanding of those who are in other boxes different than ours. Yeah. You know, so I'm a big fan of the boxes. And so this kind of idea that we're trying to mold and mesh everybody in every circumstance, like, dude, it's Sunday afternoon. It's sunny and nice outside. Chill out. Your coffee was 30 seconds later than your friends. Are you for real? Boo freaking who? Do you know? So it's like, and so that little girl is going to work for the rest of the afternoon with her little face and upset, you know, because this guy's like, grrr. Okay, so she has an opportunity to learn and grow from that too. But like, come on, man, the assholery abounds. So this is just your little Sunday public service announcement. Don't be an asshole, do you know? And don't expect that everything in the world is going to work out exactly to your schedule, because there's always something going on behind the scenes. Jada's learning how to drive right now, and as we were driving in to catch her train today, I was saying, she was sharing with me something she'd seen yesterday where these people were driving like maniacs or whatever, and I was going, yeah, you can't change that. There are road rules to kind of keep things within certain parameters, just like we have rules for lots of things in life. But free will and being here on planet Earth means that you don't get to control everything that everybody does. You don't get to do that. That's not what we're here for. We're here to learn how to adapt, grow, and become self-realized, self-actualized. Okay? That's not by changing everything around us in our environment. And I said to her, look, you know, that could have been a husband and wife who had a fight, and he jumped in the car and took off, and she jumped in the car behind her and took off behind him. And so they were speeding. Or that guy could have gotten a phone call from a friend who was in the pub and went, hey, the cops are down the road and you've got your car. You better get your car home. And so he's speeding home before the cop gets up to the pub. Or somebody could have their pregnant wife in the car and rushing on the way to the hospital. And so Jada's like, oh, I get it. Those circumstances are always changing, always evolving. And that's the idea of being organic human beings. That's why we came here. You know, that's really good stuff. So what I was explaining to her as a new driver, it's then on you to be alert, to be aware, to be in the whole of yourself so that you can always adapt to the environment around you, because those cars aren't going to always behave like, you know, when you took your theory test. It's called a theory test for a reason. In theory, these rules are going to apply. In life, not always. And so be prepared, be ready to adapt. And when you get into interpersonal relationship scenarios like what I just witnessed in there, you know, that guy was not prepared to adapt, that his coffee didn't come out at the same time as his friends. And so he was inconvenienced by 30 seconds, but took it upon himself to look at that girl and act like an asshole and try and crush her afternoon. Yep, she'll adapt and she'll move forward because I know her and I know she will. But I was just looking at him going, God, you better be glad my daddy wasn't here, because if Dick Hensley was here and saw that kind of behavior, he'd have jerked a knot in your head, son. That's right. He'd have jerked a knot in your head. So don't be an asshole. Enjoy your day. Learn to adapt and stop getting your feelings hurt because everything isn't going exactly the way that you want it to. Love one another. Be there. Lift each other up. Support each other. But understand that, why would you want to be in a world where everything is perfectly perfect all the time? Ew. Ew! Peace out, y'all. Love ya. Mean it.